Hi guys, 23rd of February, she says, hopefully. How did this last week treat you? Because things still haven't let up at this end, so yeah, that's fun, isn't it? It's just been one of those weeks, but you know what? Still alive, so that's always a good thing. And I don't need bail money. So, there we go. Today I want to cut the cards. That doesn't happen very often, does it? Okay, so let's have a look. Again, using the Gitana cards. Something on that one. Oh, Mr. Ginge, you got the sneezels. Right, so our first card is Foe. We've had this one out a lot recently, haven't we? So this is something that is unresolved, something that is carrying on. Did you at least find out if it was an external or an internal force? Did you manage to ascertain exactly what was going on? Because it feels like a rehash. Don't forget, we do have Mercury going into retrograde this week, so that would make perfect sense that it would be rehashing the same thing again and again and again. I think it's either Thursday or Friday that it actually goes into retrograde, but don't quote me on that. I'm not an astrologist. No idea. But this is feeling like a rehash of that. So perhaps it is a case of the same thing is happening. Maybe with somebody else to see if you're still triggered. Maybe it's a new version of the same thing. I always say that life is a bit like a spiral staircase. So you do see the same thing, but you see it from a different perspective each time. Perhaps that's what this is. This is the one that's telling you to see it from a slightly different perspective. So yeah, it's going, yeah, it's the same stuff, but are you still reacting the same way? If you are still reacting the same way, guess what? More healing is needed. More time with your shadow side, with your shadow self. Okay, so then we have two cards together there. We have Thief and Money. So what are you letting siphon your money off? What are you letting steal your money? And I'm not talking a physical person here. I'm talking sitting down and looking in depth at your finances. This is the fact that these two have come out together. This says to me there is something that's not exactly regular that is going on here with your finances. If somebody else has control over them, you need to get an audit. You need to audit yourself as it is. If you regulate your own finances, you need to audit yourself. You need to sit down, you need to stop, you need to think about what's coming in, what's going out, what you can afford, this, that, and the next thing. And if there is anything that you need to cut back on, because that is what is going to be stealing that. It's going to be taking it away from you and other things that you need it for. So a lot of reevaluation going on. There's a lot of re-words, isn't there? There's rethinking, rehashing, reevaluating. A lot of RE words, retrograde. And it's all starting to add up here for me. I hope it's adding up for you, literally. Hope it's adding up for you. One in doubt for those that are technically minded, I think there are apps out there that will look at things that you are paying for multiple reasons, or that are out of date and things like that. There are apps that will do that for you. Failing that, as I say, if you don't have control of your own money, or if you've handed a lot of your money worries over to somebody else, it might be time for an external audit. There might be something going on here that's not exactly above board, but there is something that is definitely not right here that is going on. And then we have Thought. So you are rethinking. We are rethinking, we are reevaluating, we are rehashing, we are reviewing. There's a lot of things that are coming around again this week. And it's almost like pulling teeth in that I'm saying the same things again and again and again. But do you know what? We're not learning the lessons. We're not taking into account what is going on in the world at the moment. We're not taking into account what is going on with us at the moment. It is one of those things that we are burying our head in the sand, and that has to stop. We actually need to sit down and we need to think about what is going on. And I know a lot of us have a very weird relationship with money. So perhaps that is your foe. Perhaps your money is your foe, especially if you're self-employed, because I know in the UK the tax laws are changing at the moment, so you need to be reporting quarterly and everything's online and this, that and the next thing. Not a good time to be self-employed if you're still, not hip to the Stone Age. It's just one of those, yes, all this, advancement, but if we have an EMP or, the sun decides to do whatever it's doing, we're going to have disruptions. So this is your be prepared time. This is your backup. Have your backup copies. If you need to make paper copies, do so, because it will give you some sort of fallback. Things are shifting, things are changing, things are moving around. And because of that, you may need to rethink what is important in your life. You may need to stop and reevaluate not just your money, but other situations as well. You may need to stop and go, right, so hang on a minute. Let's take stock today. Let's stop and think about what is going on. Let's stop and think about it. There is the old Japanese method that says if you hold it and it doesn't bring you joy, then let it go. Yeah, that's always the same with bills. Speaking of, I think I have a water bill I need to pay. I will get on that in a minute. So there's so much going on. And this is your wake-up call. These are the cards that are saying, right, so something is not right. There's an irregularity. Something is not as it should be. And it's better that you find it and that you're aware of it than that some government agency finds it and then they're aware of it, and that way prosecution lies. So let's not go there. Is this something you need to be aware of, something you need to stop burying your head in the sand with, and something you need to give some thought to? If it's personal finances, there are things you can let go, there are things you can jig around. It will work out. If it's professional finances, that's a little bit different. You might need to actually get somebody in to evaluate, to audit, that sort of thing. But don't let money be your enemy. Don't let money be the reason that you are burying your head in the sand. Don't let that be the reason at all. Actually realise that money is an energy, and as such it flows. It flows in and it flows out, just like energy does. It flows, it continues all the time. And remember that energy doesn't stop happening, it gets transmuted. So in this case, it's an exchange, therefore it gets transmuted into cold hard cash, shall we say. But who is the thief here? Who is the thief? Who is the foe? And it does all come down to money and the way you think about money, the way you feel about money, the way we've been brought up to not talk about it. That is not helping things at the minute. We need to be open. We need to have a discourse. We need to stop and talk. There are many, many websites out there that can help you with this sort of thing. Many people on YouTube who can help you with this sort of thing. Have a look at a couple of them and see what resonates for you. I mean, not everything is going to work for everybody, but there will be some that will resonate for you. So I think that this is your wake-up call, and the stop making money your enemy. Okay, guys, that's all I'm getting for now. So happy retrograde, and I will see you next week, which will be March. I'm skipping ahead of myself. Bye for now.